Why would you feel the need to give your parents money to keep for you?
You know, at that time we were doing a clearance. I could say we were selling all our items from Nairobi to relocate to our rural home. At that time, we even went to an extent of borrowing from this mobile banking, from our bank accounts, because now my wife was the one operating the business. We were doing most of the transactions through my wife's phone number. So we even went to an extent of borrowing money from KCB account, from Mshwari, so that we can raise the full amount. So we felt it better. It should be kept by our parents, because if we kept it, again, we could have gone to an extent of using the money. So it would not do the right purpose.
So you gave it to your parents because you felt you would have utilized the amount?
Yeah.
Thank you. What business do your parents do? What do they do for a living? When you talk about your parents, kindly talk about your father and your mother. What do they do for a living?
Okay, my father is a retired civil servant. He was working in the veterinary. He retired, but he has some business at home. He's operating an M-Pesa shop with a small retail shop at home.
He's operating an M-Pesa shop?
Yeah.
Thank you. So was the money subsequently given to the deputy governor?
Yes, when the deputy governor requested the 800 Kenyan shillings, we were able to give him on the date of 28th. We gave him 500,000.
The 28th of which month?
28th of May.
28th of May?
Yes.
That was the year 2023?
Yeah, last year.
Where was that money handed over at? What venue was that?
My dad did a transaction of 250 from his account. Actually, it was 251,000 from his account to the DG's M-Pesa. And then my mother sent me 250,000 to my account, M-Pesa account, so that I could transfer the same to the deputy governor. So I transferred the sum of 249,000 Kenya shillings because of some transaction costs.
Kindly go to page 255 of the County Assembly's bundle of documents. Honorable Senators, I'm referring to volume 1 again at page 255. Honorable Senators, I'm looking at the second last transaction contained at page 255. Mr. Dennis, tell us about that transaction. Where was that money being sent to and from who, and what was the time? And which number was used to send that money to?
Okay. So this is my M-Pesa.
What is your M-Pesa number?
Statement.
Kindly read it out.
My M-Pesa number is 0725 487 300. So I did, after receiving a transaction of 250,000 from my mom, Anna Misati.
Do you have proof that you first received money from your mom?
Yes.
Kindly take us there. Look at the next page. The next page, Honorable Senators, is not paginated, but it's, if you flip, you will go to the next page. There is a page after 255. So the very first transaction, or rather, Mr. Dennis,
Yes.
point at the Honorable Senators to that transaction where money was sent to your phone from your mom's account.
The second page of my M-Pesa transaction is the first transaction, which happened at 8 p.m. My mom sent me 50,000 Kenyan shillings. And again, he had in 751, he had sent the same amount of 50,000 to make it 100. And then the first, which was the first transaction at 744, he had sent
just a little bit
yes,
slowly. Honorable Senators, I'm referring to the 4th, 5th, and 6th transactions appearing on that page. So you received first 150,000.
Yes.
At what time?
The first transaction I received at 744.
744 from who?
From my mom, which is 150,000.
Is the name of your mom?
Anna Misati.
Anna Misati.
Yes.
The second transaction?
Was at 751.
Yes.
50,000. And then the last transaction that my mom sent was at 751.
Again of how much?
50,000 shillings.
And immediately after that, where do you transfer the money to?
So after I received the full 250,000 Kenya shillings, I transferred the amount from my M-Pesa's mobile number to the deputy governor's phone number.
How much money did you send to the deputy governor's number?
The first amount that I sent to him was at 833, which is 150,000.
150,000. Confirm the number that you used to send the deputy governor through his mobile number, kindly.
It's not clearly indicated, but it ends with 700.
Do you know his number? You have?
Yes, I had it in my phone.
You have quoted that number in your affidavit. Kindly, we can refresh your memory by looking at the affidavit. It is important for that number to be captured.
Yeah, the mobile money that I used to send the DG, the amount is 0711-860700.
Can you repeat that?
0711-860700.
What was the name that came out after you sent the money?
The name that came out is Robert Monda.
Robert Monda.
Yes.
All this time, were you in the presence of the deputy governor?
Yes.
Or you are away from him?
We were away from him, but in the same premise.
The same premise?
Yes.
And that premises is where?
His home.
His home?
Yes.
So how many transactions did you make to the deputy governor in total from your M-Pesa?
It's totaling to 249,000.
249,000.
Yes.
So the last transaction is the one appearing at page 255. Confirm that. The second last transaction?
Yes.
That again is from your M-Pesa?
Yes.
To his M-Pesa?
Yeah.
Thank you. How did he receive the remainder of the amount, if any?
After leaving his residence, we had given him a sum of 500,000 Kenyan shillings. So the initial agreement that was we had to pay the 500, the 800,000 Kenyan shillings. So after leaving the place, we made an agreement that we shall deliver the amount the following day, which was on a Monday. Actually, we went in his place on a Sunday. So the following Monday, we could deliver the balance, which was 300,000, at his office.
His office?
Yeah.
But on that very day, did he receive any other amounts of money from any of the persons you were in the company of?
He only received the amount from my father.
From your father?
Yes.
Are you able to point us to that transaction where your father sent money to the deputy governor on the same day?
Second, yes.
We are getting there, Honorable Senator. Just at page 64, 65 of the Deputy Governor's response, Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Volume 2 of the DG's response.
Our response. Volume 2.
Kindly show us the transaction where your father sends money to the deputy governor, appearing at page 65.
It is on page 65, on the same night of the 28th. My dad made actually 4 transactions. The first one was from this is a joint account, cooperative account between my dad and my mom. So the first transaction was 70,000. The second one was 70, and again he did a transaction of 70, and then later there's another transaction of 41. So it's totaling to 251,000 Kenya shilling.
What was the nature of this transaction? It reflects that it's from a bank. How was that payment done? From the bank to?
It was done from the bank to the M-Pesa account of the deputy governor.
Deputy governor?
Yes. But this is now a different number than the one I used.
What number is that?
Yeah, this number is 0702 0000220.
Repeat that again.
It is 0702 0000220.
Who is the registered owner of that number?
It's registered to the deputy governor.
Deputy governor?
Yes.
That would total to how much? What you had given him and what your parents sent to the deputy governor?
It's totaling to 500,000 Kenyan shillings.
500,000?
Yes.
Your allegation was that the ask was for 800,000.
Yes.
What happened to the balance?
We agreed on the following day, which was on a Monday, we bring the balance of the 300,000 Kenyan shillings to his office, which is to the stadium, Kisii Stadium.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, you have had the occasion to look at the response of the deputy governor in defense to that specific allegation?
Not yet.
You have not looked at it?
Yes.
I want to refer you to the deputy governor's response. What he said about why he had received money from you and from your father and what he did to it. I want you to look at that response. Paragraph 16. The deputy governor alleges that your father owed the deputy governor some money and that money sent from you and from your father and from your mother were towards repayment of that loan. What do you have to say to that line of defense?
Honorable Speaker, I can say that this is a lie, because if we look at the whole thing, I am included in this sending of the amount to the deputy governor. And if at all this was a debt that my dad was paying to His Excellency the deputy governor, then if we look at his account, cooperative account, joint account, the account holds more than what I sent.
Let's go back to that account now that you've raised the issue.
Yes.
How much did your mother and father jointly have at the time they were sending money to the deputy governor? And what was the balance after they sent money to the deputy governor? Honorable Senators, we are again making reference to the deputy governor's response.
So after my dad sent the last amount, which was 41,000, in his account balance, it was a balance of 1.3 million.
So your father still had some balance in his account?
It was a balance of 1.3 million. Indeed, if he was paying a debt, and this is a family, you could have done the whole transaction at a go.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I want you again to look at that response, and Dr. Honorable His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Kisii alleges that he had loaned your father the amount of 600,000, some of which money had gone to pay fees for your child. I'm referring, Honorable Senators, at page 51 of the Deputy Governor's response. Page 61 all the way, page 5.
Page 5.
E5, it's E5. Had you received any money from your father that, to your knowledge, was an advance from the Deputy Governor that you paid school fees for your child with, that now that day you're refunding?
No.
Have you ever sought any assistance from your parents towards the education of your child?
Yes. This was after we had given the money to the Deputy Governor. We had sold everything we owed. Then we had gone back home. I was not in any financial position thereafter to take my daughter to school.
Mr. Dennis, I have perused through the statements and I have seen a number of transactions between your father and the Deputy Governor as late as January 2024. Money flowing from your father to the Deputy Governor and vice versa. Are you aware why your father would occasionally send money to the Deputy Governor and vice versa? Because his defense is that they are long-term friends and they used to loan each other money, and this was not an isolated case. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I cannot deny that they are long-term friends for a long period of time. Actually, it exceeds 30 years. The main transaction between my father and the DG is that my father is one of the officials of a circle that he leads at our home.
What is the name of that circle?
It is called Kebobora Women Group.
Kebobora?
Yes.
Yes.
That's in our locality, is the treasurer. In many cases, in many occasions, the Deputy Governor borrows money from the circle through my dad's name, then he refunds with an interest. That's generally the business they're doing.
Have been doing?
Yes.
But on this day, could it be one of such instances where the Deputy Governor had borrowed money and was being refunded to by your father?
No, it's not one of the days. As I stated earlier, if actually this was the borrowing and lending business, I am not an official of the circle. Then I was not entitled to make a transaction to the Deputy Governor through my mobile phone.
Did you have any other reason to visit the Deputy Governor's home on 28th of May? Apart from the business of giving him money for securing the job vacancy, did you have any other business?
No.
Have you ever been to the Deputy Governor's home at any other time?
No.
What then does your presence mean against the defense of the Deputy Governor that it was a repayment of the loan?
I was the owner of this all initiative. I was the one who was looking for employment, so I was to be there to witness what was going on.
Thank you.
Because this was my money.
Are you aware if the Deputy Governor ever transmitted any money to the target of the bribe?
Yes.
And who was that target?
The director of Kisii Water, after sending him the full amount.
What is the name of the managing director of Guasco?
Her name is Lucy Wahito.
Lucy Wahito.
Yes.
And a look at the document before you. Yes. Honorable Senators, I'm looking at page 99 of the DG's response. Page 99 of the Deputy Governor's response. Is there any money sent to that very person, Lucy Wahito, the MD of Guasco, on that very day?
Yes, there's a sum of 100,000 Kenya shillings.
100,000.
Yes.
What time was that money sent?
It was sent on date 28th May 2023 at 9:24 p.m.
9:24
p.m. Yes.
And what time had you sent the money to the deputy governor?
The last transaction I made at the first transaction I made at 8:33 p.m. 8.
Then an hour later, he sent money to the same Lucy, that is the MD of Guasco.
Yes.
The very company where you had applied and were shortlisted for a position.
Yes.
Now, the deputy governor says that that money was sent erroneously, but interestingly, to the same person that he was meant to bribe. What do you say about that?
I don't know what to say, but this was that transactions, but I actually believe this was a bribe so that he could.
In your previous discussions with the deputy governor and your father,
Yes.
were you aware if Lucy Wahito was the person who was meant to be bribed by the amount of money you were giving?
Actually, I did not know the name, but I know it was going to be given to the managing director.
Yes.
Now, who happens to be Lucy White.
Meant to be Lucy.
Yes.
Thank you. Did you ever secure that employment at the Guasco company?
No, I didn't.
You did not.
Yes.
Did you make follow-ups with the deputy governor or your father, making an inquiry over the same?
Yes, I did. We made constant follow-up through my dad, the deputy governor, but we did not receive any communication.
Now, Dennis Mukaya Misati,
Yes.
your own father, biological father, your mother will tomorrow appear before Senate and they will label you as a liar. Why would you want to go against the statements of your own father? Why would your father be lying about the purpose of the money sent to the deputy governor?
Actually, this is my life. That was my money. This was my lifetime savings. If my dad chooses to choose friendship over the truth, then let it be so.
Thank you. As
are you done with the witness? Because it's breaking down.
we can pause for just 30 seconds. I'm sure he can
All right.
recollect himself.
Sergeant at Arms, kindly take care of the situation in the public gallery.